viewers, how are you? Dave here from Diesel and Dyno. Today I just wanted to show you guys about the Alien Tech Powergate 4. This is something I've used to tune my NAVARA here. It can be used remotely, but I also wanted to just show you some footage of me and Matt Clark, the owner of Diesel and Dyno, going through a virtual tune. This is something that we can do as a tune shop because we've got some other capability, but more so just to show you what can be done with this little bit of gear here. And you'll also see us forget our 10mm spanner and sing a song, which should be pretty entertaining. All right, we'll see you later on.
Essentially a virtual dyno, but it's a back-to-back test with a standard tune on the road. And we only test up to 110k an hour. In a 110 zone, we use third gear, so it doesn't max out on speed, but it's basically from 1500 RPM right up to virtually the limiter. And then we do it with the stage 2 tune-in, and we'll have a look at the difference in acceleration rates and calculated powers, which going on our mainline dyno is usually within 3 or 4%. So yeah, all right, let's get out on the road, find a hill and pull a number.
So I turn right at here, don't I, at the level crossing? Is that the start of the hill?
Has there been a big f***ing smasheroonie up here?
Have they blocked it?
I can just see a car there with no f***ing wheel on it. That's alright.
Shit. Done a wheel bearing.
Tuber glue, what do you expect? Tuber glue Brumby. You picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel.
I don't know what the rest of the words are.
PM in third gear.
Yep, that's 1500 there.
Down to 14. Yep. Now she's wide open throttle, so we're 100% throttle in third gear. And we just let it accelerate up to peak RPM. Yeah, back out. So basically just accelerated to peak RPM, essentially to the limiter. And then we let it coast down.
All good?
Yep, and the system calculates drag coefficients and wind resistance and hill. Okay, so 442 Newton meters at 2100. That's pretty similar to that Hilux we did yesterday, yeah? So we're now going to stick the standard map back in this so that we've got a comparison. Geez, the gearing's shorter than the Hilux, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are writing, like David said, we are going the opposite way with this. We already had a stage 2 tune in the ECU, a remap, and we are going back to the standard or the factory or the ORI short for original. So we're putting the ORI file back into the ECU. We're going to do the very same test again, and then we'll have a look at the virtual dyno results from Alien Tech and see what we've got. Yeah.
Okay, 1500 revs in third.
We've got no traffic, we're good to go.
Yep.
Yep.
Alright, planted.
She's planted. In third, 100% throttle. Then back out. I think the tune's the limit, mate.
Stop up here, go back to standard. Now we've got the spanner.
354 Newton meters.
What?
354. What was it?
It was 444.
444 Newton meters before?
Yeah.
Okay. So just to fill you in on what's been happening is that yeah, being unorganised, we forgot our 10mm spanner to disconnect the battery. So with the navs, with the D40s, YD25, after the remap, you've got to disconnect the battery for a minute. Anyway, we had to drive back to the workshop without doing that. It hasn't caused any issues. Thought the tune may have still been in at the stage 2, but the test would suggest otherwise. So anyway, let's compare the data. Okay, so here's our results from the dyno drive. And you can see, yeah, definitely the standard tune has gone back in fine. The standard tune is in blue down here. The stage 2, which was our first run today, is up there. Dotted line is torque, so torque standard, torque with the stage 2, power with the stage 2, power in standard mode with the ORI file. So we go scroll down here. Now these units are a little bit odd because it uses PS. PS is a Japanese, or the Japanese love that unit, but it's very close to horsepower. But in any case, we had the 442 Newton meters with the stage 2 and 355 Newton meters with the ORI back in. So yeah, anyway.
About 15 horsepower difference.
Yeah, 15 horsepower difference. But the interesting thing is, and we've got to remember this, is that it compares peaks, okay, for your peak numbers, but you got to remember that, you know, sometimes below peak we've got a much bigger gain. So, but this torque jump here is huge. So,
and it feels like it when you drive.
Yeah, you can feel it for sure. So, but anyway, them's the results. Doesn't lie.
Okay, so there are a few things you need to remap your ECU using the PowerGate 4, right? So I'm just going to take you through those now. Now, I've already done that with this vehicle. Okay, so this has a stage 2 tune in it already, and there are various tunes available for thousands of different vehicles with things like EGR, DPF deletes, etc. for off-road use only, and you'll know why I said that. Okay, so first of all, the Alien Tech PowerGate 4, all right? So this is the unit that we're using as an interface between the cloud and the vehicle to remap the ECU. With it also comes our OBD2 cable. So we'd plug that into the OBD, plug underneath the dashboard, and we plug this into the PowerGate 4 here. All right, what we need to do next is, and you'll get this in the package, is scan the QR code and download the PowerGate 4 app. All right, now once we have the app on our phone, we run it, we pair it to the PowerGate 4. All right, now we get a read, we follow the prompt. So we read the ECU and we send that to the cloud. You'll always have your standard tune, by the way, and this is one of the main strengths of the PowerGate 4, is we can change tunes whenever we want. Now, you will need to have a good internet connection, and you'll also probably need to put your battery on charge to keep your volts up while you're going through this process. So we plug it in, pair the phone to the PowerGate, and then we follow the prompts. Once it's done a read of the ECU, you can then go onto your files, which will be made available to you by Diesel and Dyno in the cloud, and you can select the file that you've paid for and that you've purchased. Then you write the file onto your ECU, again following the prompts. The prompts will be things like turn the ignition on, turn the ignition off, etc. Until it's complete. With this particular vehicle, you actually have to turn the car off for 1 minute after the write's occurred. That's not the same for all vehicles. It depends on the vehicle and the ECU. So that's how it works. It's really that simple. Now, this does not stay on the vehicle. This is an interface. So this doesn't remain connected to the ECU at all. It's only there to act as an interface for the remap. Once you're finished, this can go in the cupboard, on the shelf, wherever. It can sit in your glove box, wherever you want. It doesn't need to be connected. If you did want to put your car back to standard tune, you just do exactly the process I've described. Plug it all back in, pair it, put your battery on charge, select your standard file, rewrite the ECU on your standard. Why is that helpful? Well, you can run into problems when you've got a tuned vehicle, when you go back to dealerships and they update software on the car. that's not a good process to go through if you've already got a different tune, because they'll be expecting to see the standard one and to update that. So if you wanted to set your standard one back, you can do that. It takes a few minutes. You can take it into the dealer, they'll see the standard tune, they can update it, do the service. You get home, you can put your remap back on. The other thing is that you don't need a dyno for it. As you saw in the video before, we did that part of it on the road. We didn't use a dyno, we used a virtual dyno. Now, it is good to use an actual hub dyno, and we do have a mainline hub dyno at the workshop, because there are other reasons we would want to use that. By the way, you can also get dyno sheets for this. I've got a dyno sheet for this vehicle. If you virtual tune it, or you use, I think there's an app called Virtual Tune you can download on your phone. You can dyno your own car on the road and you'll get a dyno sheet for it. But it can be helpful having a hub dyno to verify results. But these have been used thousands and thousands of times on all your Nissans, all your Toyotas, etc. So they're a really good product. I've gained about 90 Newton meters of torque and about 15 or 16 horsepower on this vehicle. It drives totally different. I love it. Everything's fine. It's a really good product. So look, that's a bit about how it's used. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Look, it's, as I say, if you want to go to a tune shop and get them to put it on a dyno, that's absolutely fine. There's no reason not to do that. But if you're happy to remap your ECU with a tune that's been developed over time with thousands of vehicles, these things are great, and you can do it in your own garage. Thanks everyone for watching. Help us to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be great. Drop us a like or a comment. And if you're interested in maybe doing this with your four-wheel drive, drop us a line. The links will be below. See you in the next one. Cheers.